Hi kids, and welcome to the Hump Day edition of Imagination Station. You know, just about every day in the railroad business is Hump Day. The hump is a literal hump in the railroad track where they take a train that came from somewhere, run it over the hump, disassemble it, and each of the cars goes to a different track. They call that classification. And each one of those classification tracks has a new train that's going to go somewhere else completely. It's complicated, but it works. Now, speaking of humps, my mountain lion friend Sierra said that she could jump over a hump 15 feet high. That's pretty impressive to me. I mean, even with a trampoline, I don't think I could jump 15 feet in the air. Let's check out the special talk starter question that she has for us today. And it's about how lions can see or how lions can smell. Which is the better sense for them, hearing or smelling? I'll give you a moment to ponder that. Okay, so can mountain lions see better than they can hear, or can they hear better than they can see? Why don't you help me out with the drum roll again? Here we go. And the answer is their hearing is way better. Now, I want you to stick around because the old engineer is going to have a presentation here. He has an experiment that's going to shed some light on the subject of illumination. Enjoy. I'll see you later.
Hi, kids. Good to be back with you on day 3 of Rocky Railway Vacation Bible School. Conductor had a good question for me. Why do most railroad crossing signs say, stop, look, and listen? Sounds like good advice and more than just a good suggestion. Did you know that about 90% of the information our brains process is visual in nature? That's our first line of defense from danger, looking and seeing. Just like you look both ways before crossing a street. But on a curve, you might hear a train before you see it. So stop, look, and listen. Unless there is a siding track, a train can't change lanes to avoid a collision. And at the speeds of modern trains, well over 100 miles an hour, an engineer needs plenty of room and plenty of time to stop the train. An engineer needs to know if the next segment of track is clear to go, like the green signal, or he has to be ready to stop, like the yellow signal indicates, or if he sees a red signal, just forget about it. Over the decades, train signals have become more informative, brighter, and better at getting an engineer's attention. And just as warning signals must be bold to get our attention, Jesus' power helps us be bold. Trust Jesus, yes indeedy. What do you think? Are thunder and lightning bold? If lightning doesn't get your attention, thunder just might. Lightning is nature's way of equalizing electrical charges of positive and negative ions up in our atmosphere. Thunder is one way nature disposes of the energy and power that a bolt of lightning possesses. That stream of plasma, Superheated air creates a shock wave that echoes and reverberates for miles. In fact, you can estimate how far away from you a lightning bolt struck by counting the number of seconds from flash to boom, then dividing by 5. For example, you see lightning and start counting 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, and so on, up to, say, 10. Divide 10 by 5, you get 2. That means the lightning struck 2 miles away from you. I have a try this at home experiment that lets you project the image of a flashlight's light emitting diode LED or the filament of its bulb onto a wall. This will give you an idea of how a modern lensed railroad signal projects a collimated parallel light beam laser-like down the tracks.
Hey kids, welcome to the Imagination Station. Glad you're here today. It's dark out right now, and it's best time to try some experiments with light. But unfortunately, the camera we're using this evening just doesn't like high contrast images, real bright and real dark next to each other. So the projected image of the LED flashlight that's going through this lens onto my screen here is mediocre at best. But you can try it at home if you have a magnifier. Seen a magnifier before, right? And some kind of a flashlight. Point the flashlight at the wall a couple feet away from it and put the magnifier in between. Move it back and forth towards the lens and towards the wall to get the best image of either the filament or the LED component of your flashlight on the wall. And that'll show you pretty much how the signals work on a modern railroad signal that projects a beam way down the line. So the image you're seeing isn't very bold, but Jesus' power helps us be bold. Every day, all the way, trust Jesus. And now, you know, trains have to make bold sounds to be heard, and they have their own language of horns and whistles, kind of similar to Morse code with long and short combinations. A couple of the more common ones would be the signal that's a warning to vehicles and pedestrians when they're approaching a grade crossing. That signal even has its own name. It's called Rule 14L, and it's given by 2 long, 1 short, and 1 long. Sounds kind of like this. Another common one is used when the engineer is starting to back his train up. He'll give 3 short bursts. Sounds like this. But then, when he's ready to go on down the line forward, he'll give 2 long bursts, like this. So, try projecting your flashlight image after it gets dark, and I hope your results are better than what you saw here tonight. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Stand by, because the conductor will be right with you. Bye-bye. Well, kids, that's a wrap for Wednesday. We learned a lot today. We learned that the thunder travels 1 mile and takes only 5 seconds to hear it after the flash. Now, if you've witnessed a thunderstorm, you know how bold lightning and thunder can be. We learned how a lens can make a railroad signal even more bold so it can be seen further down the track. And our Bible point taught us what? That Jesus' power helps us be bold. That's right. Trust Jesus. We can be bold in our faith with Jesus' power. Now, without actually looking directly at the sun, we found a way, well, that's a good way to blind yourself, so you don't want to do that. Thursday's activities are going to include an examination of the sun's power to warm the earth. I'll see you in the observation car. Bye for now.